According to Women's Aid stats in the UK, one incident of domestic violence is reported to the police every minute. 1 in 4 women will be a victim of domestic violence in their lifetime, many of these on a number of occasions, whilst only 1 in 6 men experience domestic violence. And on average, 2 women a week are killed by a current or former male partner, and almost 1 million children in Britain are affected by domestic violence either as victims or witnesses. Domestic violence is a very serious issue in the UK and can affect us all. I live in Hastings, which is on the south-east coast of England and has a population of approximately 87,000 people. This documentary will investigate how badly domestic violence is affecting the community of Hastings and what agencies, the police as well as the community as a whole are doing to prevent domestic violence from occurring. I decided to interview Deborah Fraser to find out what her agency does to help victims of domestic abuse in the area.
We have offices in Hastings, Eastbourne and Bexhill, and I'm based in the Hastings office. We as a firm advise clients in all aspects of the law. My particular role is as a family lawyer, so I help people with all sorts of family problems. I help people who require advice concerning divorce, or if there are any children problems, so residence contact disputes, and also clients who have children who are taken into care by the local authority. I deal with financial cases when people separate, but I also help people who have suffered domestic abuse. So we assist clients in that field and, if necessary, apply to the court for protective injunction orders for them. Domestic violence can take many different forms. There are examples of physical abuse, when somebody is physically hurt by another person. There can be emotional abuse, there can be sexual abuse, there can be financial control, there can be also harassment. So if somebody is repeatedly contacted by another person, or if they are followed repeatedly, or if a former partner tries to contact them through Facebook, Twitter, or other networking sites, that sort of thing. So domestic abuse can take many, many different forms. Domestic abuse can occur in many different situations, but essentially one person will exert control over another person. And that, as I said earlier, can come out in many different forms with very many different types of abuse. For example, sometimes people are in a relationship and their partner will check their whereabouts whenever they go out. They will check their mobile phone to see who has called them or who they have called or what text messages they have got. There are some people who have no control over their financial affairs, and so their partner controls how much money they have, how much money they're able to spend. So there's all sorts of different types. What happens is that a person will come to see me for advice as to what steps they can take to protect themselves and or any children that they have. Initially, we would see them in a face-to-face meeting, and I take lots of information from them to enable me to assess their situation, and then that enables me to give them the best possible advice as to what steps they need to take. In some cases, I will refer them immediately to the police if it's a very serious matter, and sometimes the police are able to act very, very quickly to protect that person. In other cases, it might be appropriate for us to write what's called a warning letter to their former partner, telling them to stop a particular action, such as constant text messaging. If that's not appropriate, we can then consider making an application to the court for what's called a non-molestation order, which is an order which protects somebody from being molested by their partner. Molest doesn't have a legal definition, but it includes all sorts of things such as people following them, people assaulting them, people abusing them in all sorts of different forms. In the last 12 months, then I have seen in excess of 50 people, all of them women, it has to be said, who've required our assistance. In every case that we have sought a court injunction, so a non-molestation injunction, we have been successful. The court has granted the order and the client has been protected. We have a variety of different means of contact. We have a website, so people can contact us through the website. There's a quick contact link. We are on Facebook, we are on Twitter. People can contact us by telephoning any of the relevant offices. They can write to us, or they can come in through the main doors and make a personal appointment to see us.
After the interview with Deborah Fraser, I got in contact with Hastings Police and spoke to Jane Vella, who is a victim caseworker in adult protection, to get stats and figures on domestic violence around the area.
My name is Jane Vella. I'm a victim caseworker with the adult protection team at Hastings Police Station, which also covers the Rother area. And I've been here nearly 9 years. We deal with reports that we have coming in. So for last year, we had, for the Hastings area, we had a total of just over 2,000 crime reports for domestic abuse just for the Hastings area. Now, some of those incidents are repeat incidents whereby the couple keep having incidents, so it's not separate couples every time. It's repeat offenders of domestic abuse, and that's for the Hastings area. For Rother, we had a total of 614, but it's a smaller area, Rother, as well. So that was for last year. I'd say the majority is male and female, but we do have same gender sex domestic incidents as well, but I'd say yes, it's more so male-female at present. Obviously you have the government that have made the commercials that you see a lot on television about domestic abuse. In this area we have posters which are put in the hospitals, centres, day centres, wherever you can, to obviously raise the importance of reporting domestic abuse so that you're not suffering alone. There are many agencies out there that we work with, and whatever victims we have that come along, we put them in touch with other domestic abuse agencies who assist them in getting non-molestation orders, whatever assistance they need, emotional, whatever. We have monthly meetings also, whereby we talk about the high-risk victims that we have and what we can do for them, and just to make our victims safer. But there is a lot of agencies that do assist, and as I say, we put wherever we can information up. You also have it on the internet, information, national helplines, etc. They have the White Ribbon Day in Hastings and Rother, which also makes people aware of domestic abuse. So I think the word is spread quite liberally, and also probably that's why it's so high with the reports, is that people aren't afraid to come and talk to the police so much, and do want to be helped, which is what we're aiming to achieve, is lower domestic abuse.
White Ribbon Day in Hastings was 2 days after my interview with the police. I was presented with the opportunity to find out more about the event and witness what the community is doing as a whole to battle domestic violence.
To suffer domestic abuse in their lifetime, and at least 750,000 children witness domestic violence every year. Hastings Borough Council has tackling domestic violence as one of its priorities, and I'm really proud of that fact. We fund additional support services for those who've experienced domestic abuse. We work in close partnership with the police and other support agencies to combat the destruction and misery caused by abuse in the home.
My name's Jocelyn and I'm from Hastings Borough Council.
And I'm Sue, I'm also from Hastings Borough Council. We work in the regeneration and housing departments of the council. And today we've joined together to raise awareness about domestic violence for Hastings White Ribbon Day. And a key part of the day is that we're getting people to sign up to the pledge, never to commit, condone or remain silent about domestic violence.
And one of the main reasons holding White Ribbon Day in Hastings is to raise awareness about domestic violence, to encourage people to talk about it so that it's not a hidden crime. It's really important that people feel comfortable and confident to come forward and seek help and advice. And one of the things we've done as part of the project is produce the Hastings White Ribbon leaflet, which lists all the local agencies, phone numbers, places that you can get support and advice from. So that's a key part of our project as well. Well, it's actually an international day, so it happens across the whole world. So it's a UN day that is recognised internationally. So all sorts of countries do lots of different things to mark it, whether it's making a human white ribbon to doing some kind of art installation. But in Hastings, we've been marking white ribbon for a number of years, but we've been doing it in this way for the last 3 years. And I think year on year, we kind of build on the success. So every year it gets a little bit bigger and we get a few more people involved or a few more agencies. So hopefully as time goes by and we continue to do it, it will be something that the whole of the town know about white ribbon and they expect it. Oh, it's November, okay, white ribbon's just around the corner, I must remember to make my pledge.
I mean, last year in 2011 there were 1,857 reports of domestic violence. So I think the more that we can raise awareness of this important issue, the better chance we have of tackling it. And a key part of that is in the pledge. It's about getting people to speak out and not remain silent.
It is evident that just like any other community, there are cases of domestic violence in Hastings. However, events such as White Ribbon Days show that the police and local community realise domestic violence is a serious issue and are working together to eradicate domestic violence in the peaceful town of Hastings.